My name is Benton Stokes. I'm a former fundamentalist, post-evangelical worship leader, and songwriter. I enjoy wry Manhattans, roller coasters, and road trips, just not all at the same time.
I'm Elaine O'Rourke, and I'm a teacher, an author, and a spiritual coach. I was a philosophy professor and a liberal pastor in a couple of former lives, and these days I love aha moments and not so dry martinis.
We have conversations about life and God with a queer perspective, over cocktails, like you. This is Cocktail Theology. Today's cocktail is unique for a couple reasons.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I am.
First of all, it has the ingredient Suze.
Oh, good. We're trying that.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
So Suze, S-U-Z-E, is a French aperitif that is derived from the gentian plant, from the root. That's the principal ingredient, but there's lots of secret ingredients, like all of these things have. It has kind of a bitter flavor to it, and I don't know that we've used it in a cocktail at all yet until now. And this one, let's taste it, and then I'll tell you the name of it.
Okay. Ooh, I like that.
This is pretty good. It's got a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's very herbal. And it has that kind of, I hate to put it this way, but that dirt, that soil, like it has a little
Very
that
earthy.
minerality.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So what else is in here?
Yeah, so bourbon,
Uh-huh.
sweet vermouth, Aperol, Suze, and grapefruit bitters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never would have gotten, I don't think, any of that.
But here's the other funny thing about it.
Okay.
It's called the Enrico Palazzo.
Okay.
Do you know who Enrico Palazzo is?
I feel like I should, and I'm embarrassed that I don't. So go ahead, tell me.
Enrico Palazzo was the fictional acclaimed Italian opera singer that Leslie Nielsen's character Frank Drebin impersonates at the start of a baseball game in The Naked Gun. And then later in the movie, Drebin goes undercover on the pitch as the game's umpire. When he unmasks himself, a spectator shouts, "Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!" And then the crowd starts chanting his name.
Okay, now I have to go watch The Naked Gun, the original with Leslie Nielsen, not the remake.
No, I have no idea why it's named for Enrico Palazzo.
We don't care.
But we don't care.
I like it.
That's a good story.
It's a good story. It's a very good name. It's
a good cocktail.
Name. So I've been of a mind of martyrs lately.
Of a mind of martyr.
A mind of
martyrs. I can't say that.
I know. So here's what's going on. So couple of things that have been rolling around in my head.
Okay.
The first one is that the nastiness that pervades our political arena, and I honestly think the isolation from COVID and the self-centeredness that came from the isolation from COVID, in my very unscientific opinion, has generated a whole lot of quote-unquote martyrdom. People feeling persecuted. People feeling as though, their feelings will get hurt if somebody says boo. Lots and lots and lots of, on all sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's that kind of martyrdom, right? But then there's also been, since Charlie Kirk was murdered, this tendency of certain people to want to call him a martyr.
Oh, yeah.
And I find that incorrect, but also mostly just interesting. So what I'm playing with is, what is the connection between thinking that oneself is being martyred, in other words, being persecuted, and wanting to claim someone else as a martyr? I think there's a connection.
Okay.
Maybe the easiest way to go about this would be to either start with, what does it mean to be a martyr? Like in that proclaiming someone else a martyr sense. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's the easiest way to start. So do you have any sense of like why someone would be called a martyr? I'm still kind of figuring this out.
When I think of martyrs, I think of people who were put to death because of what they believed, and exclusively because of what they believed. So it's not enough that you believe this and I hate your guts, so I'm going to kill you. It's more, you believe this, so I'm going to kill you.
Oh, okay.
So it's a person who actually dies because of what they believe, and it's more than believe, because I think people have to be threatened by someone's beliefs enough to want them dead.
Right. Okay. So a martyr is someone who is executed or murdered because what they believe is, and what they profess.
Yes.
Profess, I think, is important.
Profess is huge, yes.
So what they profess is profound enough that others feel threatened by it.
Right.
Okay. Staying on that for a minute.
Yeah.
To be a martyr, do you have to be on the right side of history?
No. I don't think so.
Okay, say more about that.
I think that certainly, we think of martyrs as a type of hero.
Yes.
But I think the strict definition doesn't actually mean that. I think you can die for what you believe in and profess. Somebody murders you and you're a martyr, even if what you believe and profess is something that I find abhorrent. Or maybe objectively people would find it abhorrent.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They wouldn't be lifted up as martyrs, even though technically I think they probably fit the definition.
Okay, so it sounds like to be properly termed a martyr, we've got the stuff that we just had a second ago about what you profess, but then there have to be not only people who wanted you dead because of what you professed, but people who thought that what you professed was important and good, at least from their point of view.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So that's why some people might say Osama bin Laden was a martyr.
Right.
If they were of the same philosophy.
Okay.
Believed that what he was doing was for some greater cause.
Right.
But, most Americans probably wouldn't say that he was a martyr.
Okay. So there's something about being on the same side as the person that inclines one or the group to which that person belonged to think of them as a martyr. Because they believe in the same cause.
Yes.
Right? It really comes down to, do I believe in this cause?
Right.
And if so, then does this person fit the things having to do with that cause?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm willing to go with that. I think that's good. I think that's a good definition. So, as people are lifting up Charlie Kirk as a martyr, it sounds like there are people who believe what he does, people who believe that he was murdered because of what he professed. I think that one we could question, but it's not important for this.
Yeah.
And so then he would be a martyr for their cause.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm willing. I'll go with that. I think that's okay. I think that's good. So then my question would be whether he's being lifted up as a martyr for their cause or whether he's being lifted up as a different kind of martyr. Because I think he's being lifted up as a martyr for the cause of Christendom or the cause of First Amendment or all these causes that aren't actually, from what I see, why he was murdered.
Yeah, and I think it is important to look at the motive behind a quote-unquote martyr's murder.
Right.
If it were proven that the person who assassinated Kirk was doing it because of any of the things you said or any other thing that he professed.
Correct.
Then people that support him or believe that he's a martyr probably have something to stand on.
Right.
But if it's determined that the person that assassinated Kirk was doing it just because he wanted him to shut up or he was sick of him or he owed him money or some other reason, then
or just didn't like him.
Yeah, then that kind of nullifies the whole martyr thing.
Or if he did something that was harmful, which is different than profession. Let's stay with Osama bin Laden for a minute.
Okay.
That's a good example. The United States killed Osama bin Laden
Yes.
because he was, well, for all kinds of reasons, but ostensibly because of 9/11 and because he was a threat to the ongoing peace of our country and the world in general. Okay. So then, from our perspective at least, he wouldn't be a martyr because he had done something wrong by getting people to take down the World Trade Towers, etc.
Yeah.
He had actually aggressed against people. And so this was a prevention of his aggressing against people.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which is different than profession per se. I mean, like, it isn't quite about the First Amendment. Like, it's not quite about freedom of speech. But a lot of it has to do with motivation, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. So then, whether Charlie Kirk is a martyr for whatever cause, and I want to pin down that cause in a minute, depends then upon the killer's motivation.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. See, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? It's one of the reasons that martyrs traditionally, like when we think about saints as martyrs
Right.
and so forth, and actually political symbols as martyrs, that up until fairly recently, you weren't considered a martyr if you were killed by an individual. You were considered a martyr if you were put to death by an organization or the state.
Okay.
Right? Because then it doesn't become about that person. It becomes about what they believe and what they profess.
Right.
Whereas if you're killed by an individual, tougher to tease that out.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So then the question would be, Charlie Kirk is coming up not because I actually want to say anything about Kirk, because I don't, but because people are using that language, it's a helpful way to think about it, right?
Yeah, right.
So we will have to wait to find out, if we ever find out, we'll have to wait to find out why this person killed him to determine what cause he was a martyr for.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with the idea that he was killed because of what he professed.
Okay.
I think that's probably, from what we're seeing, is probably accurate.
Okay.
But sometimes he's being raised up as a martyr for Christianity. And that seems to me to be clearly false.
Yeah,
Like, just pretty much straight up false. Because he wasn't professing Christianity. He was using Christianity to uphold other ideas, but it was the other ideas that people found either offensive or wonderful.
Right.
So that's an interesting piece, right? Even if we accept that he was potentially a martyr for something, the something would then in some ways depend upon why the person killed him.
Absolutely.
Isn't that interesting, though?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about that, that becomes
really
a
is.
really tenuous trickiness.
Yeah, it does.
It's one of the reasons that Catholic saints go through like 3 different, if you will, stages to get to saint. And it includes things like they have to have done miracles.
Right.
They have to have been martyred for what they did, or they have to have suffered for Christ. Like there has to be something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be something specific about them. But that's the reason it's such a like narrow category.
It really
right?
is. Yeah, it really is.
Because otherwise, anybody who was treated poorly and killed could be a martyr.
That's true.
If I think that what you're doing is the most important thing on earth, and somebody treats you badly for it, then I could say, well, Benton is being martyred for, well,
You
but
could.
right?
You could.
Right?
Yeah, you absolutely
So
could.
there's something in that I find very interesting.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Okay.
Here's why I find it interesting.
Okay.
Because there are a freak of a lot of martyrs around these days.
Yeah, there sure are.
There are a lot of people who feel like their little selves are being persecuted.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
They are personally being persecuted. I'm sorry. Your being unhappy does not make you a martyr.
No.
And you're wanting to guilt other people for not doing what you want them to do or for not respecting your boundaries. By the way, boundaries are for the person holding them, not the person who doesn't hold them. The purpose of boundaries is for you, not for the other person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if somebody is not coming to Thanksgiving that I want to come to Thanksgiving and I'm feeling bad about it and I want to make them feel bad and I start expressing to them how much they really should be here.
Yes.
I'm not a martyr. I'm just a jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm self-centered, right?
Yeah.
So there's something about, in order to actually be a martyr, and I mean not to think of yourself as a martyr, not to think of yourself as poor, pitiful me, but to be a martyr, first of all, I think you have to not think of yourself as poor, pitiful me.
Absolutely not.
Like that can't be in there, because once you do that, then
that kind of disqualifies you.
But there also has to be a bigger picture that matters.
Yes.
So then the question is, when we get into the poor, pitiful me, and I think we all do it, I certainly have done it. And then we like, woe is me, I'm being so good and trying so hard and really right? That's the reason we call it martyr with big air quotes around it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's this idea, you feel as though it's this big thing that you're defending that is right and good and everybody should respect.
Yeah.
But you aren't getting it.
Right.
So obviously I don't have a lot of patience for this.
Apparently not.
But I do think that there's a connection between the fact that so many people are talking as if they are being martyred in some way.
Right.
And this isolation, this self-centeredness that we've talked about before, that is pervasive.
Yeah.
All you have to do is watch people driving.
Oh, it's everywhere. And
you notice that people are not conscious of anybody around them and don't care.
No,
right?
They don't care.
But once you start, you know what? It goes back to wonder. When you experience yourself as the center of the universe, then offense done to you is like an affront to all that is good and holy.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're the kind of person who's looking for other people who feel that way, you elect the kind of person we did.
Yeah.
So there's this overall, I want to be a victim. I see what I am standing for as being huge and important and right and good and holy. And so if I don't get my way, I'm being persecuted.
Right.
Which is not the same thing as being a martyr for a cause.
No, not even close.
Ugh. So how can we help?
I know where you're going.
Maybe we can't even help. Let me phrase that differently. Okay. Assuming that all of us lean into feeling like martyrs from time to time. Let's just assume that for a minute.
Okay.
What can we do for ourselves to get our heads out of our own way, if you will? Like I'm trying to brainstorm. Look, if you actually recognize this might be a problem, that 400 million people all think of themselves as martyrs, and we can't change other people.
No.
But how could we work at both recognizing really what are big causes and not just our personal preferences, and when we feel like victims, determining whether we're actually being persecuted, injured, whatever, or we're just feeling sorry for ourselves because we're not getting our way.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Just because I'm not getting my way at the moment does not mean that anyone's out to get me or they're harming me or any of that. It could just mean that my will is getting foiled.
Yeah.
And plenty of people don't get what they need and deserve systematically.
Right.
I think that's it. It's
right.
the systematic piece, right?
Right.
So assuming our listeners sometimes fall into this same trap that I do, of feeling as though we're being persecuted, or that, we are totally misunderstood, or that the cause that we consider to be the most important thing in the world, like so-and-so coming to Thanksgiving, is not being taken seriously enough. How can we get ourselves out of that? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a lot of it, we need to right-size ourselves. Like, we need to understand that it isn't all about us, you know? This has been one of my pet peeves, and I know you and I have talked about this a lot. I'm going to pick on evangelicals for a minute. Evangelical worship has been me. My relationship with Jesus. Jesus loves me. And how counter that runs to the idea of the Jews being an us, a people, and that the commandments that God gave to the Israelites were to preserve the community.
Yes. Well, St. Paul talks about the church.
Right.
And he doesn't mean you and me and 5 other people standing in a building. He means, if not the institution of the church, then the abstract idea of the church or the Christ-centered eternal aspect of the church. Right?
So I think one way that many Christians could maybe start to understand their own self-worship would be to look at us as an us. You know, we are part of something much bigger than us. And sometimes we don't get our way for the greater good.
Right.
It's like, you've used this example before, but it's like the people who leave the church because they're going to put down new carpet and it's not the color they want, right? And we all know people who do this, who have done this. It's that kind of thing. It's like, why actually are you here?
Right.
If you're getting bent out of shape about the color of the carpet, you don't really know what the church, Big C church, or even your local church is about.
Right.
Like, you don't get it at all. So I think a lot of it is us starting to look at each other as part of a bigger picture.
Right.
All that to say, I just think that we have to first of all decide, acknowledge, realize that the universe actually doesn't revolve around me or you.
What?
As cool as that might be, although I don't think it would be very cool at all.
Elane is the measure of all things.
That would be, right. That would be a fine place to start. But yeah, and just recognizing that there are things that matter. Like, human life should matter. Like, making sure people are fed should matter. Like, giving everyone access to healthcare should matter. Like, putting the protection of our kids above your right to own a semi-automatic should matter, right? I mean, these things should matter. And all this stuff is so out of whack right now.
Right.
Like, our country needs a recalibration.
Well, as I've said before, my hope for this season is that it results in a recalibration. It feels a lot like just before the Depression to me.
Yeah.
Like people trying to get people to invest in crypto.
Right, right.
It's like, yeah, that was 1928,
yeah,
my friends.
I heard a snake oil.
Yeah, right. I'm hoping that what comes out of this is a recalibration. And I deeply hope that everybody listening to this does some real careful looking at themselves.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, so when is it just, I'm not getting my way? Versus, when is it really about the greater good of us and maybe the people I don't normally consider us, but I should probably include in us?
Ah, good point, yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking right now.
I like that. Listeners, what do you think? We love hearing from you. Know any martyrs?
Oh, honey, let me tell you the number of martyrs I know.
CocktailTheology.com is where we are. We love getting ideas for conversations, cocktails, mocktails, whatever you have on your mind. Hit us up. Till next time, friends.
Bye.
Funny how the view can change, how life just seems to rearrange itself. No matter what it was, I don't know how it goes, but look, moving on feels pretty good. Moving on feels pretty good.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and hit subscribe wherever you're listening right now. We welcome your comments, questions, and ideas for conversations and for cocktails. Please get in touch with us at our website, cocktailtheology.com. Cocktail Theology is a production of SFS. Our theme song is Moving On Feels Pretty Good, recorded by yours truly, Benton Stokes. You can find my music wherever you stream your favorite artists. Join us next Thursday for another new episode.